Everyone, it's Cass from the Oxford Weaving Studio. I haven't shown my face here for a long time. I thought today I might do so. I want to show you what's happening with our new studio membership. So this is my studio here. If I can switch the view round, there we go. You can see this is a studio and I am in the Make Space Oxford building in the hallway. So this is my space. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the membership today, and that's because I have decided over the next year I'm going to spend quite a lot of time doing some professional development. So I'm working on quite a lot of projects that I've got on my own that I've been working on for a little while, but wanting to really focus and do quite a lot of research on it. So I'm needing to dedicate a bit more headspace to my own work for this year. As a consequence, I have decided to open up the studio to others, which is our studio membership. And the studio membership involves people coming to use the studio with the opportunity to weave on two different types of looms, so either a table loom or a frame loom. And the point of this is that I get a number of people in my studio all the time who I teach during workshops or who come and pop in, and they always have wanted to spend more time dedicated time to weaving, but they either don't have the equipment or they don't have all the supporting equipment or the space to actually have a loom. So given that I do have lots of looms in my studio and I'm stepping back a little bit from the teaching this year, I will have available looms on a regular basis. So the membership is a monthly membership where people access the studio and the loom and they choose which one they want to work on. And you develop a project, whether you're a student or a hobbyist who really wants to weave. The point of this is for people to access a space, and basically there aren't very many of these spaces available. And of course I'm based in Oxford, so it makes a wonderful place for people to come and spend time. So let me show you the space. So I'm going to start right as we come in. So there's the door and some lovely artwork from students, very young students who were in the studio last summer from the States. I want to talk to you about the shelving. We've got a lot of it. In the studio membership, I've decided that I'm going to open it up for that we basically have a lot of the yarns on the shelf. So these are all stock yarns. These are ones I use in my day-to-day weaving, but they're also ones that you would have access to if you came to be in the studio as part of the membership. The other thing you can see, I've got like color codes for yarns. So if you need swatches, that would be something that you'd have access to. Of course, I'm showing you some shelves. I've got quite a lot of my own work on at the time, but we will, I can clear that stuff out. And if somebody's coming, we'll make some space for them to store their own projects, etc. You'll notice on the back wall, of course, I've got all my wool roving. That would be part of it. So you would get all the new materials at a discount. So I would make sure that you are able to save quite a lot on what the retail price is of these yarns, because I have lots of them and I know that we love to try things and test things out. I'll also mention we've got storage lockers. So for example, if we look here, I've got a little locker for everyone to hold their stuff. So I've basically got 4 available. And if we have more members, then great, we'll investigate getting further ones. So people might store things like here, Zoe in the second one, for example, some yarns and notebooks, etc. So it's just a place where you can make sure that you store all your equipment. And then I'll talk about the loom. So of course, you notice here, this is the Oxford frame loom. I currently have some work set up on it. And this would be one of the loom options that you'd be able to book on as part of the membership. So either a frame loom or a table loom. And I've got my loom here. So this is my loom that I work on. And this Dobby loom is not part of the membership. It's what I'll be working on exclusively over the next year, and will continue to do so. And the looms, so here you've got 4 different sizes of looms. I've got a number of table looms, some 4-shaft loom. I've got an 8-shaft loom. This one has 2 back beams. Then I've got a 16-shaft loom. Again, you can just see the back, there's 2 back beams. And then I've got another 4-shaft loom. Look at all the weaving tools, any piece of equipment that you need, that's an option. You'd have tray. I've got a tray. You get shuttles and other weaving tools included as part of your loom option. And of course, then some of the equipment, a winding mill, warping mill. I use that in mine. You've also got some winders, and you've got some skein winders, some cone winders. Sorry, not cone winder, cake winders. Got weaving tools. And then, of course, you have the whole space. So in the space, of course, there are currently quite a lot of yarns still available for sale. So you get any of this sort of the OWS products, you get a discount on that. And then, of course, some of these you'll have extra boxes. I'll show you here. I always have what I call sample yarns. There's boxes of them with like hundreds of different quality, so you can test out yarns in your own for your own projects. I hope it's great. And you'd have access to all these materials, and of course the teaching space. So this is what I currently use to teach workshops, but you would have access to this to spread out. And of course the higher table. I've got cutting mats, I've got all the scissors, all the tools, everything you would need, you have access to. Let me see if I can flip the camera. There we go. So basically, the studio membership has two options. There are two tiers. One for people who know what they're doing and feel confident. Great, come in, work on a table loom. I'm designing a project and I want to make some cushions. So you crack on and you know what you're doing. You buy or bring your yarn, whatever inspiration you want to work on, and that's great. The second option is one that is supported. So if you're not quite confident, if you need a little bit of a head start, you want to have a project and you need my help for designing, there is the second tier membership, which is supported, and that will include two-hour sessions to help develop your work. So you, as a group, we might start one at the beginning to help get you kicked off and started, so that you know what you're doing and making sure you're confident on the loom, and then we'll check in later in the month, and that would be we'd work that out together. So for the moment, it looks like it will be opening in July, so it's quite soon. It's a new thing. So there's a discount on the July membership and the September membership, and then it will roll on through the year. So the prices will go up from, I think my next one is in November. The booking is from November. So there is July and September now at a discount, starting in November full time, but it's a monthly membership. So there's nothing really like this in the UK that I'm aware of. I know that people can do workshops and do courses with people, but this is something where it's just flexible. It's up to you. You can have as much as much time at the loom to develop your projects. You can come in on the weekends or you can come in during the day. You'll get keys to the studio, so the access is for you. And it's just basically a nice community of people sharing the equipment and cracking on with their weaving, if they don't already have the stuff. So if you're a student or a graduate who thinks that they'd like to do a project here in the studio, get in touch. Equally, if you're a hobbyist and maybe you even have your own loom, but you don't have all the extra equipment, or you feel like you could bring your loom in and have it stored here for the month, that is an option. I'm open to that as well. We can make space for that. Equally, if you are in this sort of the second tier workshop where it's supported, as part of that, I know some people live a bit further away, and I'd also be open to you taking a loom home to have in your home, but using the studio as and when you want it, either for support and your peers, or to bring it home and work more intensely on it if you live too far really to commute on a daily basis. So it's up to you. It's super flexible. It's just starting out. I am really open to hearing how people might benefit from using the space. So if you are a weaver or a wannabe weaver and you think this might be for you, based here in the lovely part of Oxford, where we're just on the canal, and it's in a lovely location right across from the Anchor pub, which means it's we've got a nice local that's just reopened, wonderful Make Space Oxford community. They're here as well, so you get access to not just my studio, but to the creative people around here as well. And there's a kitchen, and we have events and drinks once a month, and lots of different clubs to join if you're a creative type and you like to get involved. So ping me, send me a DM, or get in touch at info@oxfordweavingstudio.com. Hope to see you soon. Bye.